This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
We have whistles here. It's been a foul against Newcastle.
That's an offensive foul. Nice job by the coach's kid, Easton Edmondson. Only a freshman to draw that. But we're seeing early on that the refs are going to call it tight. Both of those calls at that end, very iffy at best.
Back the other way here with the Pirates in transition, right to the rim and putting it in. First points for Dale comes from Dayton Forsythe, guy you talked about in pregame, Jordan, putting that one home.
You can see how comfortable he is finishing around the basket.
So make it 3-2. We have another turnover here. Come the Pirates trying to get their first lead on their home floor. Forsythe between the legs, kick out in the corner. Open three ball, too much. It's loose. Jordan will run it down and save it. And the Racers get themselves a stop. Pull-up jumper here for Seeley, won't get the roll. And rebound is pulled in by the Pirates. Oh, poked away from behind. Really nice play by Chase Sucharda, the 6'3 junior. Sucharda, pull-up right-hand floater, rolls halfway in and then came out. 5:34 to play in the first. Had some audio technical difficulties there at the beginning, so if you missed it a little bit, Josh Calloway here on hand, joined alongside by Jordan Ray. Dale Pirates, #1 team in 2A, hosting the number 10 team in 4A, the Newcastle Racers, on our OSN Game of the Week. Fun matchup between two good teams at different levels.
We've already seen Newcastle show multiple looks on the defensive end. Now it's like they're just in a full-court man. They're using Jordan to guard Forsythe, and he did a good job on him a few possessions ago.
Forsythe guarded by Tegan Jordan. Tried to fire in the corners, poked away. Jordan scooped it up. Here goes Tegan Jordan down the floor here. Mentioned he's a really athletic kid. Lost it, but the Racers able to save it, and a savvy play here by Poisson saying, hey, let's just slow this up and reset.
Yeah, on defense, that's the second time that Jordan really held his ground well against Forsythe. So we'll see if that's a theme throughout the night. Forsythe averages over 20 points a game according to his coach, so he's one of those scoring studs we like to watch in high school basketball.
Here's Munoz, the elbow underneath to Seeley. Connor Seeley, shot is up, it rolls off. The rebound pulled in, nicely done there by Higdon for the Pirates. And Dale's got it going back to the way. Here's Edmondson, guarded by Boydston, trying to get some room off him. Just a freshman is the young Easton Edmondson. Here's Forsythe. We have whistles before the shot.
And again, the refs are calling it tight right now. Not saying they're calling it anything in error, except maybe that first offensive or defensive foul on Forsythe I didn't agree with, but they are calling it tight. It's up to the players to adjust to that.
3 team fouls against Newcastle already, so definitely agree with you there. Driving the lane here, kick out. Ooh, contact there, they got away with. Spin move. Oh, that was really nice. Put home from Deacon Jones, the sophomore, putting that one home, and the Pirates got their first lead.
So is the other sophomore in the starting lineup. He's the other old guy in the starting lineup, of course, with 3 freshmen. He's their second leading scorer, and he's really good at taking it to the basket.
That's going to be an over the back on Seeley. Just not a real smart play there.
No,
Didn't really have the positioning.
That's part about adjusting to the refs. Now you got 14 fouls, and we're not even halfway done with the first quarter. That could become an issue for Newcastle.
And 2 on one of their starters, Connor Seeley. So he picks up his second, like you said, 4th team foul as we just crossed the midway point of the first quarter. Into the game for Newcastle for the first time as number 11. That's Trey Martinez. He's just a freshman getting in there. Looks like we also have number 12, which is Connor Yingling, a 6'6 senior getting in. Turnover again forced here by Newcastle. Trying to get the lead back. Boyson all the way to the rim, and he finishes it.
Nice finish there, but it's set up by more good defense by Teague Jordan. I think his defense on Forsythe has been the story of the first quarter so far, that and the foul issue.
Top of the key, really nice pass here by Forsythe. Shot doesn't go, though, for Jones. He had a good look there, just missed it. Here's Martinez for the Racers. In the corner, Boydston. Pump fakes once. Now he'll jab step and drive on Edmondson. Kick it out to Tegan Jordan. Jordan pump fake once underneath. Nice dish to Munoz. And he draws more contact, another foul. So back to the line for the Racers, up by 2 points right now. Can add to it.
As I continue to tout Tegan Jordan, he got and part of that's because we share a name, I'm going to be honest. The other part of it, he got the assist for the first basket of the game for Newcastle, and he made a great pass into Christian Munoz right there. So I like what I'm seeing from that kid. And Newcastle, they're the ones that are going to their bench right now a lot, which is good for them. That makes them in a better situation where they can handle the early foul situation. The only thing is they just don't want to send Dale to the free throw line too much.
Munoz puts them both down, so the Racers respond to the Pirates 4-0 run with a 4 run of their own and take the lead back by 3. Boyson will come out. In the game for the first time for Newcastle comes number 4. That's Tristan Cathy, a 6-foot senior. Pirates, meanwhile, trying to find some steady offense. Here's Forsythe all the way to the rim. Couldn't quite get it to fall. Martinez, a nice rebound. He'll take it away for the Racers. Nice pass up to Sucharda on the baseline here. Nice move, and he finishes.
Nice finish there. And you saw Forsythe attack the basket at first possession he could with Jordan out of the game for Newcastle. He got a good shot. He just couldn't make it. And Dale's calling a timeout here.
So Pirates need to talk things over. Quick 6-0 run from Newcastle, and they lead at 9-4. Feels like right now, Jordan, that the Racers are just kind of controlling the pace of things a little bit, and especially on the defensive end, they're wreaking havoc. You mentioned Tegan Jordan, but kind of everybody's really making things difficult for the Pirates down at that end. This is a Dale team that can score. You know, you look at their point totals this season. They've gotten up in 70s and 80s pretty regularly. So far it's been tough sledding though in this first quarter.
Yeah, so I watched some of Dale's last game against Cashin. Cashin did not really reach in very much on defense. They didn't play the dribble. We're seeing a lot more of that from Newcastle. Newcastle's making an attempt to be aggressive on defense, and they have forced some turnovers because of that. They've also got some fouls too.
Dale's only loss this season came outside of two-way. It came to 3A Jones. That's such an unforced error there. Turnovers. Sucharda feeds off to Martinez. Kind of fumbled the pass. Was able to still get a shot up, but couldn't capitalize. So Racers miss a chance there.
Yeah, I would say, Coach, Edmondson for Dale can't be happy with the way his team's taking care of the ball right now. Right there.
Coach Brown for the Racers thought that previous out-of-bounds ball should have been Racer possession. It's kind of hard to tell. A lot of bodies in there. Pirates still have it. Down by 5, 2:20 to play in the first quarter. Pump faking and taken out to the left side here. This is Levi Kelly, one of those freshmen in the starting 5 for the Pirates. Here's Edmondson driving on Martinez. Gives it off to Forsythe. Pass underneath. Good anticipation there by Cathy. Gets the steal. Racers another turnover forced. Pirates do a good job getting back to kind of kill the break, and now they're going to force a turnover of their own. Forsythe comes up with a loose ball. He'll take it back to the way for Dale. Jump step, kick out. Nice ball movement here. Open 3 ball. Clackums. Dropping it in there, Levi Kelly. And it's 9-7.
He's one of their best three-point shooters. I'm surprised they haven't shot many threes yet because they're making a concerted effort as Dale to get into the paint and drive and kick.
Open 3 at the top. Not going to roll in. It's a decent look there for Cathy. Couldn't quite finish it. And the rebound for Forsythe, and the Pirates will take it back the other way. Forsythe gives up on the right side. That's Kelly who hit that 3 a moment ago. Gives it back up to Forsythe. 1:17 and counting to play in the first quarter. It's 9-7. Pump fake once, drive the baseline right to the rim. Oh, it's blocked. Reed Davidson, the senior for Newcastle, just subbed in, got the block. Now back to the way Sucharda got tied up. And that's going to be a jump ball. Oh. And an awkward landing there. Might have kind of twisted his ankle a little bit, did Chase Sucharda.
Probably it's the leg. He already has a wrap around, so I don't know if he's had.
Might have been some stepped on somebody's foot, something kind of like that. Seemed like. Well, so hopefully he's able to get back in there. We'll keep an eye on that. Certainly an important player for the Racers.
It's one of the first subs for Dale, bringing in number 24. Chamber, who I would believe is a transfer from Deer Creek. But another freshman.
Yeah.
Part of the youth movement at Dale.
Biggest guy on the team, 6'5", is Chamber. Another sub here coming for the Pirates. It's going to be Cash Van Brunt, 6'2" junior.
And he is the only junior in the rotation.
This Pirates team's got a lot of guys on the roster. A lot of guys dressed for games, so they got the bodies, certainly. Just a matter of how deep into that bench does Coach Edmondson want to go? Open 3 ball in the corner here is going to be left just a little bit short by Connor Yingling. It was kind of left open, said, all right, I'll take it. Didn't end up working out. Here go the Pirates of the way. Open 3 ball here. Clackham's again. That's Van Brunt. He just came in, puts that one down, and the Pirates are back in the lead by 1.
You know, some coaches say you should not shoot the ball right when you just come in the game, but thankfully he didn't take that advice.
Boydston step back, airballs it long. Pulled in by Forsythe. And here go the Pirates in the corner. Open 3 ball again, and that was a heat check. Airballed it long. Racers come up with it. Down by 1, 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Here's Boydston. Stopped. Ooh, might have go with the travel there. Real close. Underneath. Kick out to Martinez, and that was a travel. Turn it back over to the Pirates. We got 11.4 on the clock.
So I would say Newcastle has outplayed Dale, but Dale's up by a point because of the three-point shot. The three-point shot can be such an equalizer.
That it can. So Pirates, I'm with you. As we got 11 seconds, we got a timeout by the Racers here right at the end of the quarter. I'm with you. It feels like the Pirates have turned the ball over a lot. They've kind of made a lot of mistakes, and they're up by a point. You got to like that if you're Coach Edmondson right now thinking we haven't played anywhere near as well as we can. We still managed to have a lead right now. So we'll see what happens out of the break. Certainly going to hold for the final shot here, you would think, with 11 seconds in the quarter. Make sure they take a lead into the second frame. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on a Tuesday night in Dale, the OSN Game of the Week. We thank you so much for being with us. Pirates #1 team in 2A, 16-1 on the season. Racers come in 10-4. Playing some good basketball lately, hoping to make some noise in the 4A postseason, which will start toward the tail end of next month. We're getting toward that time. Here's Forsythe for the Pirates, trying to drive. Kelly's going to fire for 3 at the buzzer. It won't go. Rebound is loose. Scoop putback attempt didn't go. And it was a good look there right at the end of the quarter for Jones. I said at the buzzer, I thought there was a lot less time. There was about 3 full seconds when he shot it. But the Pirates still come up just a little bit empty. So there you go. That's the end of the first quarter. Really good start to this one. It's 10-9 Pirates at the end of one. Second quarter next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group is your full IT managed service provider, utilizing simple, reliable technology for your home and business. Remote monitoring and management, network infrastructure, and cybersecurity, all with 24/7, 365-day live support. When you partner with CTG, you get the 150 years combined experience of our experts, helping your business grow while keeping your systems secure.
Back to action here at Dale Gymnasium in Dale, Oklahoma. This is the OSN Game of the Week, the Dale Pirates and the Newcastle Racers. A top 10 collision. Off to a good start. It's 10-9 in favor of Dale. As we just get the second quarter started, we got whistles and a turnover. I'll give it over to the Racers. Turnover's kind of the name of the game for the Pirates right now. Hasn't burned them too bad yet. I mean, they're leading, but a lot of possessions given away without a shot.
The problem for Newcastle, they're just not making shots. For Dale, they're not getting enough shots because of the turnovers. It's actually a good post move by Chamber initially. He had the good footwork to get into the middle, but he was just indecisive from there. That's something that as a freshman he'll get better at.
Here's Jordan at the top, gives it left side of Martinez. In the corner is Boydston. Pump faking it to Charter. Good to see him back in there. Nice move, couldn't quite finish. Munoz gets a nice rebound, and now we have whistles and a foul. Looks like it's going to be on the floor, though. So shouldn't be free throws. Just the fourth on the Pirates.
Yeah, he hurt his foot, that being, he's walking away, but that being Sercharda. He made a really good move there. Really good footwork, but he just couldn't finish. That's been the problem for Newcastle. They're not finishing enough around the basket.
Racers retain possession after the foul on Dale. Here's Boydston. Fires in the corner to Tegan Jordan. Mishandled the pass moment. Now he gets it back. right about the free throw line, hands it off to Sucharda. Martinez, right wing, pulls up at the elbow, and he's going to airball it short. Boyson tries to save it, no dice.
That's it. I mean, Newcastle has a lot of skilled players, a lot of good defenders, a lot of good ball handlers. What I'm not seeing right now is scorers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's there, they're just off, but that's the problem right now.
6:45 to play in the first half. Dale leading Newcastle 10-9 on the OSN Game of the Week. Being hounded here, somebody's got to help him. That was Higdon trying desperately to find anybody to give the ball to. Here's Forsythe. Him and Boyson are just banging. And now it's another turnover for the Pirates. Boyson comes up with it. Can he put the Racers back in the lead? He does. Transition bucket for Connor Boyson, and the Racers are back ahead by a point.
That's how they're getting their points in transition. That's why it's so important for Dale to take care of the basketball. But they just have a hard time shaking the Newcastle defenders. Newcastle is sticking to the Dale players really well.
Here is with it once more is Edmondson. Guarded by Martinez. Racers playing aggressive defense. It's working out to this point. Right side, that was Jones with it. He'll fire it into Edmondson in the corner. Pirates taking their time on this possession, trying to find a open spot in the Racer defense. Jones in the corner, very nice find here to Kelly in the corner. Clackums. That was a great find in the corner, and Kelly capitalizes.
3 threes early part of the game for Dale.
Levi Kelly's got 2 of them.
Number one reason they're up right now.
Makes it 13-11. Here's Boyson in the corner. He'll go across the lane. Pull-up shot is blocked. Edmondson just swatted that. Picked up here. Here's Jones. Ooh, foot kind of slid. Got away with it. He'll drive the baseline out to Forsythe, around to Kelly. Racers just a good job getting around, not giving up an easy look there. And Dale will have to reset things. This is where you like to have that shot clock. Give the Racers a reward for that good defense. Instead, Jones gets an open look, doesn't hit it that time. Sucharda the rebound, and the Racers got it going back to the way. Here's Munoz on the right wing to the top. That's Tegan Jordan. Rocket pass, and just kind of miscommunication there between him and Boydston, as Boydston kind of was coming to meet him a little bit, and he fired it right over the top of him.
You can see in Dale, once they get used to the speed of Newcastle, they could be in really good shape on offense because they definitely love to share the basketball. Mm-hmm. Really impressive for a team that young that they don't just clear out and have their best player, Forsythe, go one-on-one all the time. But they don't. They share the rock a lot.
Edmondson pulls up. Didn't get it to go. Slip trying to get his own board. Here goes Boydston. Fast break to Jordan. Tegan Jordan 2-on-1. Right to the rim. And he didn't finish it, but Sucharda there to clean it up.
I think Jordan was unsure if he wanted to shoot it or not.
Yeah.
He was so close to the basket. That's what caused him to miss. But Newcastle, again, taking advantage of transition.
Here's Forsythe. Collision, and it's going to be an offensive foul. A charge called against Dayton Forsythe, the 6'2 sophomore. That's the 5th foul on the Pirates. So each team with 1 to give. And we have a timeout on the floor, tied up 13-13 with 4:15 to play in the half. I'll tell you what, considering that the Racers hit that 5th foul mark pretty early, they've done a nice job of kind of settling things down, forcing turnovers, playing aggressive defense without fouling, because it felt like early on, especially when Sealy picked up his second, they had 4 fouls in the first, about half quarter. You're thinking, oh boy, the Racers might be putting the Pirates on the free throw line a whole lot in this first half, but they've actually avoided that quite well.
Yeah, they've gotten a little less handsy, but they move their feet so well. That's what you need to rely on when they call it tight. And so they've done a very good job at denying easy dribble penetration by Dale. The problem is Dale's hit some shots. Mm-hmm. Problem for Dale is that's now 2 fouls on Forsythe. And I get the impression he's one of those players that you don't really take out of the game very often,
right,
unless you absolutely have to. So now that he's at 2, it'll be very interesting to see how he plays on defense and if Newcastle targets him in any way, especially with the way the refs are calling it. You go at him a couple times, and maybe the refs will call another one. Get him at 3. He's still in the game right now. They're not taking him out. That's another sign just to how much Dale relies on him, because he's not only their scorer, he's been playing point for him in this game so far. I was expecting to see a little bit of the coach's son run some point, but I haven't seen that yet.
Right. So Forsythe does stay in there with the 2 fouls. Certainly something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, for Newcastle, we haven't seen Connor Seeley since he picked up that second foul. He's been out basically a full quarter length of action now, almost 8 full minutes.
All right, Dale's going to a 2-3 zone, so that's how they're adjusting with Forsythe in foul trouble.
Sucharda, tough finish, and the Racers are back ahead by a deuce. Really nice job there by the junior Sucharda. Tough finish through the contact.
Very good set play against that new defense for Newcastle.
Forsythe finds Kelly. Clackham's again. Levi Kelly is hot from deep. That's 3 threes for him, and the Pirates are back ahead by 1. Levi Kelly, 5'9" freshman. He's a sharpshooter. He can shoot it a little bit. That's 3 triples for him already in the first quarter and a half. Now Edmondson gets his hand on it. He'll slap that out of bounds. It'll stay at this end with the Racers.
So Newcastle ran a pick play to get Sucharda open, which you can do very well against a zone because they're not going to switch on a screen. So I always like screening down against a zone. We'll see if the Racers do it again. I wouldn't wait very long before trying that play again. It works so well.
It's Antonio Brown, number 15 there at the top, getting in for the first time. Also back in is Seeley. We mentioned he was out almost basically 8 full minutes of game action there after picking up that second foul. Here is Boyson, left side, Tegan Jordan. He wants an open 3. Won't get it. Rebound is ripped down. Nicely done there by Higdon for the Pirates, and Dale looks to build on their 1-point lead. Here's Edmondson over to Forsythe, guarded by Jordan. Kind of the matchup right there. Forsythe and Jordan. Been fun to watch so far. He'll drive on and pulls up with Jordan right in his face. That was well contested. Brown the rebound for the Racers, trying to run. Here's Sucharda, pull up through on the right side. Clackham's drop it in there. And these two teams just keep trading right hooks back and forth. It's a 2-point lead for Newcastle again. Meanwhile, right back is Jones to the rim, tied up again, 18 apiece.
So Newcastle is their first 3 of the game, followed by their worst defensive sequence, and then another second 3 attempt.
That one from way deep from Sucharda. Had way too much on that one. Hit the glass. I don't know if that was intentional to hit the glass. And it comes out of the Pirates. Rocket pass in the corner. Edmondson couldn't quite handle it. And Dale will reset things here as we approach the 2-minute mark to play in this very quick-moving first half. Forsythe, pump fake, left elbow. He'll give it up right side to Jones. Forsythe and Sucharda. Now over to Jones again. He'll drive on Jordan. And couldn't get it, but he's going to get the contact and the foul, and that's on Seeley again. So Connor Seeley picked up those 2 fouls, was out for about 8 minutes or so, comes back in for a couple of minutes and picks up the 3rd foul. So Coach Jesse Brown took a chance there, putting him back in, and it didn't pay off.
No, but I think Newcastle has the depth to handle that.
I do too.
And really liking what I'm seeing, even though he hasn't scored a lot yet, but he's getting there by Deacon Jones, because he makes that free throw. But he's clearly a very crafty at driving to the basket, and with Forsythe with 2 fouls, you don't want him to come into the charge. Let's see if Deacon Jones attacks more. He got the last basket off a made 3 from Newcastle because the Racers' defense just never picked him up. Well, he'll attack the basket every time if you do that.
Jones hits them both. Dale's back ahead by 2, 20-18. We saw Newcastle lead at 9-4. That's been the biggest point spread we've had. It's been pretty back and forth the entire first half here. Boyston pulls up right-hand floater. That'll go. We're tied back up 20 apiece.
I tell you, I like how Newcastle's attacked the 2-3 zone so far.
Jones there. Pass deflected and stolen by Sucharda. Great anticipation by him. All the way to the rim. Couldn't finish it. Great job by Forsythe getting back to contest that.
I love what Sucharda did. He tried to draw that 4th or 3rd foul on Forsythe. Forsythe held his ground. I think it's really good the refs didn't call that. You don't want to impact the game that much.
Right. The foul did go on Dale, but it was on Edmondson. And now both teams are in the bonus with 1:20 to play. They each have 16 fouls, so it'll be free throws for the last 80 seconds of this half.
In the case of Sucharda, though, yes, try to draw that foul, but you need to focus on finishing, too.
Here's Boydston. Left side, Brown. Back to the top, Connor Boydston. Feels like both offenses have been pretty efficient, but still just 20 points each in your halftime. Boydston right-hand floater, as I say that. Air balls it short. Might have been partially blocked. Forsythe has it now for the Pirates as we go under a minute to play in the first half. Here's Jones, left side. Oh, Kelly's hit the 3 threes. He almost pulled up from Trae Young, Steph Curry range, however, whatever your flavor is there. He was way back. And now we have another foul here. It's going to go on Newcastle, and this is going to result in a 1-and-1.
Away from the ball, too.
For Forsyth.
I think that's on Davidson, who was very physical.
Yeah.
In denying Forsyth the ball.
A little too physical.
Yeah, you really, you got to know when you get to 16 fouls, you know, you need to be able to adjust to that. You don't want to send a team to the free throw line fouling about 30 feet away from the basket.
Forsyth misses the front end of the 1-and-1, so a missed chance there for Dale to take the lead before halftime. We'll see how Newcastle plays this. So far this season, I've been kind of saying with 40 seconds left, you figure teams are going to hold it, and they haven't been, but it does look like Newcastle is going to do just that here.
It's a lot easier to do that against a zone.
Yeah, and this is where you, the pro shot clock people in Oklahoma high school basketball, this is where they stand up, right? It's right about here whenever we kind of just stand around for 30 seconds. As Brown will have it out right about the eye on the Pirate logo here at Dale Gymnasium. Home of the Dale Pirates, #1 team in 2A. Newcastle trying to knock them off. Brown underneath the Sucharda. He lost it. Better pass, probably that would have worked. Just 4 seconds. Long pass ahead to Kelly. At the buzzer, does he have #4? He does not. Almost got the rare corner bank shot, but it didn't go. And just like that, we are at the half, all tied. Gotta like that. Tie game at the end of 2 quarters. Very fun. Another OSN game of the week. That's off to a great start. We'll see if we can continue to have our close games. First 2 have been 2-point games. Trying to do it again here tonight. All right, we're going to take a timeout here. We'll come back. Stick with us through the half. We'll talk about what we saw in that first half, what needs to happen for the Pirates and for the Racers. And, of course, we'll talk about the schedule coming up. Lots of basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network as the calendar gets ready to shift to February. We'll kind of run through what's coming up over the next few weeks. That's coming up next on the halftime report of the OSN Game of the Week between the Newcastle Racers and the Dale Pirates.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Coast Technology Group is your full IT managed service provider, utilizing simple, reliable technology for your home and business. Remote monitoring and management, network infrastructure, and cybersecurity, all with 24/7, 365-day live support. When you partner with CTG, you get the 150 years combined experience of our experts, helping your business grow while keeping your systems secure.
Here at Dale Gymnasium in Dale, Oklahoma. A really fun game at the half right now. The Pirates and the Racers all knotted up 20 apiece in the OSN Game of the Week. 2 teams that are hoping to do big things this year in the playoffs, which are coming up very rapidly. Jordan, we'll get into the schedule we have coming up over OSN, but quick thoughts on that first half as far as just, you know, kind of a key here. It feels like they're very even. For Dale, it seems like to stop turning it over, and for the Racers, force turnovers. That might be the difference, is how many turnovers can the Newcastle Racers force down here at this end.
Yeah, the Racers were at their best when they could go racing by forcing live ball turnovers.
Right.
So and that's another fancy word or phrase for steals. And so if they get steals, because I think they give Dale an element of quickness that the Pirates just are not used to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that when Dale played at Cashion Saturday. I didn't see that element of team speed on defense from Cashion. They had some athletes, but they weren't playing the passing lanes, the dribbling, handoffs, stuff like that. But this team, Newcastle, they're a lot more aggressive. So they got some transition baskets forcing steals. Well, it didn't get as much of as good half-court possessions resulting in made baskets. They just didn't have that one guy who could get to the paint and score. And then for Dale, their strength was making those threes.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting to see. They're at home. That's part of what makes them so good. They have proficient, accurate three-point shooters. Of course, the main one being Kelly, and he's only a freshman. So it's just interesting to see how this team's going to develop. Both teams, I think, share the basketball in the half-court setting real well. That's been one of the things that's made this game fun to watch.
Absolutely. So going to be an entertaining second half, which we'll have in just a few minutes from now. So, of course, stick with us. We'll also talk about some other games we have coming up on Oklahoma Sports Network. Just elsewhere tonight, real quick, Lawton High and Eisenhower are in action right now on OSN. If you want to pull that up on a second screen, I'd highly suggest it. It's a fun rivalry matchup. Always fun when the Lawton schools get together. Those two teams are playing right now out in Lawton, and as well as the other Lawton school, Lawton MacArthur. They're taking on Altus right now. So that's two OSN schools going against each other. We have that game on our air as well. So we have three games on OSN tonight here on this Tuesday, January the 25th. So lots of basketball for you. Want to pull that up on a second screen? Feel free to do that. OSN app, Facebook Live, of course, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, all places you can watch the Oklahoma Sports Network, of course, good old-fashioned oksportsnet.com, always available to you as well. Jordan, you have a lot of Middale games coming up. I want to go ahead and preview here. You got some really fun matchups coming up in the very near future here coming up in the month of February.
Yeah, just like 2 weeks ago, I was free on that Tuesday to be with you, which is great. The next Tuesday, off to my own stop, my old place, or not my old place, my current place,
right.
Midwest City High School, where I teach at, used to be an assistant boys basketball coach. And next Tuesday, they are hosting Putnam City North. Both the girls and boys games at PC North earlier this month were close. And so I think it's going to be an interesting matchup in both games. We'll have the girls games for you. Midwest City girls, huge, I don't say huge upset, but definitely an upset, winning at Putnam City West tonight by 1 point.
There you go.
I think they have clinched themselves a home spot in the regionals. And I think Midwest City boys, they're in a tight game right now. They had a big win Saturday against Edmond Memorial in the Deer Creek tournament in the championship game. They're close. They're very close. They're not in quite as good a situation as the girls. They're very close to clinching a home spot. Meanwhile, Del City, the boys, it's like name the score with them. I think they're the best team in 5A, maybe the best team in the state. They're handling Piedmont right now really well. They definitely, I'd be shocked if they're not the number one seed in the West. All the teams are staying west, by the way, in Middale. And then Middale girls had a tough loss to Piedmont, so they're number 4 in the West heading into tonight. It's going to be interesting to see if they slide any or if they can pick that up and win some before they announce the host teams, which I believe will be Monday, February 7th. So there's a few games between now and then. Carl Albert, I believe, is off both boys and girls tonight. Both boys and girls for Carl Albert are in really good shape to be a top 2 seed in 5A on the west side. So there's a lot to look forward to. We hope to have every playoff game for Middale. So these 3 games, of course, you'll definitely see, and we hope to have every playoff game for you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And we may even recruit you to help us with a couple of those games.
Sure, absolutely.
Especially if all 3 teams are hosting.
Right,
which
absolutely.
Is a good chance for that.
I had the pleasure to do some Del City, do some Carl Albert last season, and always enjoy it. Obviously, fun program, so would love to get out there once again. Also, next Tuesday, we have Lawton, MacArthur, and Eisenhower playing each other. It's actually a rescheduled game. It was supposed to be earlier in the season. I can't remember when that was, a couple weeks ago. It got bumped to next Tuesday, so that's on Oklahoma Sports Network as well. And, of course, OSN Game of the Week will roll on. More great matchups. I don't want to say what we're looking at for next Friday because it's not confirmed with the schools yet. But if it is what we want to do, it's going to be a doozy next Friday. So be sure to keep up with Oklahoma Sports Network on Facebook and, of course, on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Josh M. Calloway. We have a great OSN Game of the Week lined up, hopefully, for next Friday night. So we got some really fun basketball, lots of great action. Calendar's about to shift to February. It's the best time for high school hoops right now. The last few weeks leading up to the playoffs, it's a great time. So we got lots of action for you on OSN. Hopefully you keep up with us throughout the rest of the season. Of course, like Jordan said, into the playoffs. We're going to be going deep into the postseason. We did it last year. It was a blast. We're going to be doing it again this year, giving you as much basketball as we possibly can, all the way through the state championship games at the Lloyd Noble Center later on in the season. So there we go. That's what we have coming up on OSN. We're going to take one more time out here. When we come back, it'll be time for the second half. Newcastle Racers 20, Dale Pirates 20. Third quarter on the other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Alrighty, just about ready to get back to action here in the third quarter. A very entertaining first half, hopefully more of the same here as we open up the third quarter. Newcastle and Dale on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Game of the week, Josh Calloway here, joined alongside by Jordan Ray. So far, so good. Again, first two OSN game of the weeks have been 2-point games. Kind of going down a similar path right now. Sucharda tied up and a nice steal by Edmondson. Edmondson fast break, and then Jordan poked away from behind him.
Well, so Dale went back to a man defense, and they went right at Forsyth. That's very heady play by Eastman Edmondson to pick up the slack there and see that. So he helped out his teammate avoid a fourth foul.
Forsyth off the inbound, trying to stick that in, didn't get it, got his own miss, pulled back a third try, and it goes. Give Dayton Forsyth 3 tries. He's going to get one eventually. And it's 22-20 in favor of the Pirates.
You can even see with that tip and how really good instincts he has around the basket.
Here's Boydston, jab step. He'll give it back over the top. Tegan Jordan hands it off here to Seeley, playing with 3 fouls. Kick out in the corner. Boydston for 3. Clackums. Connor Boydston from the corner. And the Racers are back ahead by a point. Trading body blows, these two teams. Every time it seems like one team maybe snags a little momentum.
Oh, there have been a ton of lead changes this game.
Yes, there has. Here is Jones, guarded by Boydston. He'll hand it off to Edmondson. Edmondson, by the way, gives up 6 inches to Sucharda, and yet still picked his pocket earlier. That was a fantastic defensive play. Edmondson underneath there, and his teammate there, Jet Hingden, maybe just wasn't ready for him to hit him, but it goes out of bounds and somehow ends up staying with the Pirates.
See if Dale runs a good baseline out of bounds play here in the box formation.
Edmondson trying to find somewhere to go with it. He'll try to squeeze it in, and Munoz just ripped it away, but then his foot was on the baseline, so it'll stay at this end again.
So Newcastle, that time, they were ready for what Dale was doing. Sorry, pause there, but good job by Newcastle. Unfortunately, Munoz stepped out of bounds.
Edmondson looking to get it in right in front of the Crow's Nest, the Pirates student section here at Dale Gymnasium. Forsyth driving, got his own miss again, put back, and it goes! Dayton Forsyth is wreaking havoc right now on the offensive glass. Pirates back ahead by 1. Meanwhile, Sucharda puts it in. Newcastle back in the lead.
I really like how Newcastle attacked right off the make there. I think that's good. Keep pushing the tempo. Push the tempo even if you're not getting a steal. Push the tempo on defensive rebounds. Even push the tempo on makes.
That was a big time push the tempo. I looked down at my sheet. I pop back up, and Sucharda's laying it in very quickly after the make. Forsythe pulls up from the free throw line, doesn't get it. Ball's loose. Sealy able to crawl over to it and pick it up. Racers get the stop. Here's Boydston walking it up. Newcastle, and he lost it, and it will stay at this end. With 5:47 to play in the third, 25-24. Newcastle leads it on the road against 2A number 1 Dale. Inbound to Sucharda. Oh, and he got it. That was really pretty.
Yeah, Sucharda, he really is a good finisher around the basket. We didn't see a lot of it in the first half. He got hurt a little bit, and he missed a couple shots around the paint, but he is starting to score now with some consistency.
That's 15 for Chase Sucharda of his team's 27. He's looking fantastic out there right now. Here's Edmondson driving on Boydston. Sucharda poked that away. It will stay at this end. That very nearly could have been another turnover.
I thought it was. I thought that was off Edmondson.
It was close. Martinez back in for the Racers in favor of Boydston. Into Forsythe. Where are the Pirates going to go? Outside of Forsythe, who can be the consistent scorer? Kelly's got the 3 threes. He's got the basketball right now. He actually has more points than Forsythe.
That should have been another turnover, I think, on Dale.
Jordan guarding Forsythe closely. He'll drive on him. Trying to push him out of the way. Double team, doesn't matter. Forsythe sticks it home.
Jordan defended him very well. Forsythe just made a great play.
Here's Martinez back away for the Racers. Underneath to Sealy. To the top. Martinez almost lost his footing. Round the horn to Jordan. Fires underneath to Sealy. Bounce pass to Munoz. That was a great find. And Christian Munoz puts it home. And right now, it just kind of feels like the Newcastle offense is a well-oiled machine. They're moving the ball well, finding good looks.
You know, they got more size. They got 3 guys who can go in the paint and score. Does Newcastle. They've been taking advantage of that the last few possessions.
Underneath, here is Forsythe. Nice find to Edmondson. This is to tie things up. He's got it! Easton Edmondson bangs one in. We're tied again, 29 all.
Never be surprised when the coach's kid can shoot. I've never met a coach's kid who can't shoot.
He's been shooting for a long time, probably. Here's Munoz in the corner, midway point of the third. This is Sealy, underneath. Nice double clutch finish from Connor Sealy. And the Racers are back ahead by a deuce. Well, last time we had an empty possession. Both teams just trading buckets.
Oh, the offenses has picked up.
Yeah,
They've made adjustments. They're basically both very comfortable now with the other team's defense.
Major knock on wood here also, but we also don't have a foul yet in the second half. It's been clean, good offensive basketball, back and forth. Bounce pass underneath here to Higdon. Higdon shot. That'll go. That was a great find, too, by Jones to get it to him. And we're knotted back up. Now we have a loose ball. Edmondson and Martinez getting on the floor. And we'll stay with the Racers, it looks like.
You know, that play by Edmondson was great, but that would have been called a foul in the first half. He made contact on that steal. Not saying it should have been called a foul,
right?
But look, that's a sign of a different game being called by the refs right now.
31-31, 3:18 to go in the third.
Well, we haven't seen his missed layups. Both teams, well, Forsythe may have missed a couple, but he got the rebounds.
Yeah.
But both teams are finishing around the basket right now.
Munoz, for about the right block, double team, fires that good play by Sucharda to save a turnover there. Now Boydston back over to Jordan at the top. Right side Sucharda from real deep on the right wing, too much. Long rebound comes out, Racers save it, Jordan scoops it up. Now Boydston. And they'll kind of reset things. Sucharda in the corner to Sealy. Racers in no hurry here, trying to find a good look. Underneath, Sealy once more, double team comes over. Now Sucharda's going to fire from deep again. This time it's a Clackhams. Chase Sucharda knocks that one down. Racers back ahead by 3.
Boy, he has been inside and outside, and he has been outstanding this third quarter. I mean, it's hard to believe he got hurt earlier in the game.
Yeah, 18 for Chase Sucharda, leads all scorers by a lot. Put it that way. He's only won in double figures. Kelly trying to change that. Halfway down and out. It was a good look, just didn't quite knock it down. Here's Jordan the other way for the Racers. Tried to feed it to Munoz, poked away. Sealy picks it up, and his shot won't fall. Good job by Dale getting back, killing that break. Edmondson almost lost, able to save it. Nice find underneath. Nobody is there with Chet Higdon. Easy finish. It's a 1-point game again. Well, I'll tell you what, both teams, I've been impressed with the vision. It seems like every guy on the floor is just seeing the court very well, finding the open man underneath.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point. They are seeing things better, which means both coaches are probably disappointed with their defense. And off the made basket, that was a ended up being a full timeout called by Coach Edmondson of Dale. So I like the idea of, you can call it timeout obviously after a made basket in high school and college. And I like doing that because that might be a better time to set up your defense, is because you're going to be on defense right away, so it's fresh in your mind. It'll be interesting to see if Dale tries to do something different, like set up pressure. Oftentimes a coach will call a timeout after a made basket for that. Usually coaches will wait till the end of a game to do that, call a timeout after a made basket. But when they do it early like that, a lot of times it's to set up something very different on defense. And by different, it doesn't even have to be a different defense, but just a different type of philosophy or something like that. Looks like, actually, though, we are seeing Dale go zone right now.
Right. Pirates trying to stick with what they've been doing. Hasn't really been working, like you were just articulating there. Boydson with it on the right side, guarded by Kelly. Over to Tegan Jordan at the top. Racers ahead by a point. Jordan underneath to Sucharda. Oh, had a man go up and over. That was Forsyth.
That might be his
Yeah, it
fourth?
should be.
Well, no, it's only his third. Okay,
Just
so
third,
he had
third
two
foul.
fouls by the end of the first quarter.
It was so long ago, you felt like he picked up one, but he's done a good job avoiding it. Good show
Still,
of sportsmanship there from Sucharda, too, kind of making sure he was all good.
still 3 fouls could be a potential concern for Dale.
Especially if this goes to extra minutes. Sucharda, and that's a wedgie. Jump ball will keep it at this end. I don't know if I've ever seen a wedgie from that close. Usually it's kind of like on a 3, in a corner, kind of gets stuck. That was right against the rim. Actually, it was a foul in the shot, so I didn't even realize that. So Sucharda's going to get free throws.
Yeah, I could see that coming because he had such a good pump fake. He got 2 Dale players in the air. Usually when you get 2 players in the air, you're going to get a foul on one of them. Maybe both. Unfortunately, and maybe this was on purpose by the refs, they call a foul on the freshman who had no fouls instead of on Forsyth, who I think was the second player involved in that pump fake.
Right. Make the first, miss the second, makes their 2-point game. Nice rebound there. Again from, that's Chamber, who we saw a little bit of in the first half. Biggest guy on the Pirates at 6'5". Getting a little bit of run here from Coach Edmondson. It's a very, very young Pirates team. We articulated that early on. Doesn't start a single, even junior. Incredibly young team, especially for a number 1. Pretty much unheard of. Down to the final minute of the third quarter. Josh Callaway, Jordan Ray, OSN Game of the Week. Another thriller here. Kelly in the corner for 3. Clackums! 4 threes for Levi Kelly, and the Pirates are back ahead by 1. What'd you say earlier? The 3-pointer's the equalizer? Same kind of idea right now. Pirates just making more of them. It's the difference right now, albeit just by 1 point. Still, it's the difference.
Yeah, otherwise Newcastle's played a little bit better.
We got a tie up here. That was a really nice jump ball forced by Chamber. Got the clean block, and the arrow this time will favor Dale.
Yeah, that was. That's how you want to reach in. You want to locate that basketball, get your hand on it. If you can, the quicker you can get your hand on that ball, the less likely it is they'll call a foul.
30 seconds here, and this is a cheapie. I think it's Reed Davidson. That's the first foul on Newcastle in the entire second half. So it doesn't mean much. Might not even be the worst thing in the world to maybe pick up a few non-shooting fouls, because you don't want to get to the end, be in a situation where you need to foul.
Especially when Forsyth has the ball. So I agree. Use a couple. Get the ball back out of his hands.
Be aggressive. Here's Davidson being aggressive again. The senior's kind of been the play really aggressive defense. If you commit a foul, you commit a foul guy. And there's another one.
A lot of dribbling from Forsyth. But the thing is, Newcastle basketball is going to involve that physical man defense. Yeah, Coach Brown can't believe that call. It was body contact. It's so subjective, by the way, but it has to be called sometimes, the body contact. I don't even think it was the hands.
No, he kept the hands up. You're right. It was a lot of the kind of the chest area, leaning in a little.
That's the hardest thing to call, really.
Oh, yeah, very hard. Here's Kelly on the right side, guarded by Boyson. We got 10 seconds here in the quarter, so Pirates trying to get the last shot, take a lead to the fourth. And that's going to be a travel before the shot, so Newcastle will get a chance. Going to have to go the length of the floor in 6 seconds, but it's a chance.
Well, with the game being close, I always say in these situations, you need to try to get something out of that. Try to get a good shot.
Here's Sucharda taking it down the floor. He'll pull it from the logo. Big shot, he put it home. And Newcastle takes the lead by 2 heading to the fourth quarter. What a shot by Sucharda. And just like that, Racers by a deuce heading to the fourth.
Yeah, you should crowd him in that situation. He doesn't have enough time to drive it all the way to the basket.
Fourth quarter coming up next. Great game, great finish. Don't miss it. Oklahoma Sports Network, Racers lead by 2 heading to the fourth.
We come from different backgrounds with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
To the fourth quarter we go here at Dale Gymnasium. It's been a fantastic game. And right now, easily the star of the game is Chase Sucharda, who's just lighting it up. He's got 22 points. This game is 38-36. 22 points is significant in any game, especially a game that's played right now in the 30s. He's been absolutely everywhere as the junior Sucharda. Here he is again underneath, and he lost it. Poked away from behind, and the Pirates force a big turnover.
You were just too kind to him, weren't you?
Yeah, right. You know, that's how it goes. Announcer jinx is real. Here's Forsythe. Gives it up to Edmondson. In the corner, back to him. Edmondson to put the Pirates back in the lead. Couldn't get it. Nice rebound fought there by Van Brunt. Hasn't played a ton tonight. That was a big rebound, though, and then he traveled, though. So a turnover gives it back over to the Racers, who lead by 2. Early stages of the fourth quarter. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, OSN Game of the Week. Number 10 team in 4A, Newcastle. Number 1 team in 2A, Dale. It's been absolutely back and forth all night if you're just tuning in. It's just been trading blows. A million lead changes. Fantastic game. And hopefully a great finish here coming up here in the fourth quarter.
Big thing for Dale is going to be how that 2-3 zone defense can hold up. That's not the defense that Coach Edmondson normally wants to play. He normally wants to go man, but he wants to preserve Forsythe, and it feels like the way that Newcastle was attacking the paint probably had played into his reason to go with the 2-3 zone. We'll see how long they can stick with that.
Foul there was called against Jones. That's his first. Here is Cathy with it for the Racers over to Martinez. Start to see the possessions get a little more deliberate in the fourth quarter. Martinez, hands off. Here's Sucharda. He's going to fire another one from deep. This one's not going to fall. Rebound. Martinez saved it. His hand might have been out of bounds. And now we have whistles. And it's going to be a foul on the Racers.
It's amazing that we had a much higher scoring third quarter than we did first or second with very few fouls called.
Right.
It's kind of an interesting combination there. And so fouls are not a factor yet. So, but always something to watch out for in a close game.
Just 3 fouls on each team, so not anywhere near the bonus. With 6.5 minutes to go, they still have 3 fouls to give each. Not something you see very often. Here's Edmondson in the corner, guarded by Martinez, who's given the Racers some really quality minutes off the bench. Very active as the freshman for the Newcastle Racers, Trey Martinez. Here is Jones, guarded by Cathy. Left side, this is Forsythe. Ooh, Forsythe, rocket pass underneath the chamber. Oh, that was just a tough finish through Munoz. We're tied up again, 38-38.
That was a great job by Forsythe not to get the ball taken away from him. He pivots at the right time. It shows his great basketball instincts as Newcastle was going for the steal there.
Under 6 minutes to play at Dale Gymnasium. Another thrilling OSN Game of the Week right now unfolding between number 10 Newcastle and number 1 Dale. Now we have a timeout here taken by Coach Brown to kind of catch their breath a little bit. This has been an unbelievably fast game. It's been very free-flowing, not a ton of whistles. not a lot of timeouts, not a lot of anything. Not a lot of injuries, which you're glad about that, obviously. Not a lot of stoppages. It's been very fast-paced, free-flowing, good basketball game.
Yeah, we did see for Dale, number 4, Jeff Higdon, who we haven't really called his name much, but he was limping a little bit. But, yeah, otherwise you're right. I think what happened is the refs called the game pretty tight in the first half, and so the teams adjusted to that. And in adjusting, that's actually made it easier on the offenses a little bit. And, yeah, I think that's why we've seen better offense so far. We're about to, because the game was tied 20-20 at halftime, and both teams are about to double that within the next couple of possessions.
Yeah, it's been a much more offensive second half of basketball, that is for sure, which I'm not going to complain about. Fun, up and down. Been a good game here in Dale. Glad to get to come out and see one of the, like I said, right at the top of the broadcast, one of the best small school programs. I mean, this Pirates team, undefeated in 2A games this year, just one loss, number 1 team. Certainly a team that's expecting to be holding up a gold ball here in about a month or so, a couple months.
One name we haven't called much this half for Dale is Deacon Jones. He's on the bench right now. We're interested to see if he becomes a factor this game or this half or not. He was a big factor in the first half.
Here's Boyson. He'll hand off to Martinez. All knotted up. 38-38 with 5.5 to go. Sucarda in the corner for 3. That's not going to fall. Feels like racers right now are really just living and dying with Sucarda. It's a matter of can he get him to the finish line or not. So like offense has gotten a little bogged down and kind of just force-feeding him a little bit. See if they can get it going a little bit back what we were seeing earlier. Meanwhile, here's Edmondson and the Pirates, a chance to take the lead as we approach the 5-minute mark.
And they're going to be very deliberate right now.
Forsythe, he'll drive. Shot was partially blocked. Might have been a pass. I'm not sure. Either way, it was deflected. Results in a turnover. Martinez in the corner to Boyston. Good trap here. Long pass to Sucarda. Great find. He'll drive. Nice feed to Munoz. And he gets battered down underneath. And he'll take some foul shots for it.
Well, this is one of those times that we got to remember that Forsythe is a sophomore, because when you have 3 fouls and you're the team's best player in the fourth quarter, you should not be biting on pump fakes. But he did. He bit on the pump fake, and now he's got 4 fouls. That's a huge play right there. Great pump fake by Munoz.
Misses the free throw, but you're right. I mean, the biggest win of that play is getting that 4th foul on Forsythe. And he'll stay in the game. Chamber will come out. Jones, who you touched on a moment ago, comes in.
Yeah, one of the first things I tell any player who's in foul trouble is don't bite on pump fakes. That's one of the fastest ways to get another foul, especially if you're going to be a target.
So Munoz makes the second, does put Newcastle back in the lead with 4:45 left by 1 point, 39-38. Forsythe, guarded by Sucarda, trying to get some room off him. We'll give it over to Edmondson.
It's going to be interesting to see how Forsythe plays now with 4 fouls. He can't just take it all the way to the basket.
Hand off Forsythe. Yeah. And if you're a racer, you got to be cognizant of that. In the corner, here's Kelly. He's got 4 threes tonight. This one won't go. Rebound pulled in by who else but Sucarda. Kelly's the only other guy in double figures. Sucarda's got 22. Kelly's got 12. Sucarda in the lane here. And it's going to be a travel before the shot.
It's a really good job there by Higdon to body up Sucarda, and Sucarda just was caught off balance by that, but he wasn't bumped. That was a good no call. And then a good call on the travel.
Midway point of the fourth quarter, 1 point game at Dale Gymnasium. Nice fake, and Higdon right to the rim. That was fantastic. And the Pirates are back ahead by 1.
Well, where's that been? I mean, Higdon hasn't done a whole lot offensively, and then on that play, he looked like Magic
tremendous.
Johnson or something.
Great move. Now Edmondson pokes away from Martinez. Boy, Edmondson is so active defensively. Here's Higdon again. Feed underneath to Jones. He puts it in. Higdon all of a sudden taking over. The Pirates are back ahead by 3, and the home crowd can feel it.
Great job by Jones. I was wondering when will it be a factor, and you know what? That was a good job of planting that pivot foot. That was not a travel, but a lot of players would travel in that situation. It's instinct to drag that pivot foot. You have to really work on your footwork not to do that. So a great finish there by Jones, and give a lot of credit to Dale. Part of it's getting their starters back in, but other players picking up the slack for Forsyth, who is limited now with what he can do with 4 fouls. But since he got his 4th foul, it's been all Dale.
42-39 Pirates, 3:31 to go. Tell you what, we're batting 1,000 on OSN Game of the Week so far. If you were with us in early January with Heritage Hall Bethany, that game went to overtime. Jordan and I did Edmond North and Moore a couple of weeks ago, and it went down to the wire. It was a 2-point game.
Final play of the game decided it. That was a crazy
block shot right at the end of that game. Last week we took a break off to do Comanche County Tournament. The only games I did went right down to the wire in the Comanche County Tournament. And now here we go again with Dale and Newcastle in a battle. Here's Boydston. Racers need a bucket. Sucarda is trying to oblige with a triple, won't go. Long rebound comes out. He's got it and gets a cheapy foul on Higdon. But because both teams have stayed out of foul trouble, it doesn't kill you. It's just the 5th foul, not a shooting or anything like that.
Now, in Newcastle, they really want to tie this game right, this possession, with a 3. And part of it's because Dale's kind of daring them to with a 2-3 zone. But I think that Newcastle needs to make a concerted effort to get in the paint right now.
Jordan underneath to Seeley. Seeley, tough finish through contact and the foul. That was big-time basketball by Connor Seeley.
All right, so here's where the foul situation, it's becoming more and more favorable to Newcastle.
That's
Not only
6, yeah.
Yeah, 16 fouls. And, of course, they recently drew a 4th foul on best player for Dale, Dalen Forsyth.
Seeley completes a 3-point play, and we're tied. I'll tell you what, that was really encouraging if I'm a Racers fan, just from the perspective of it wasn't force-fed to Sucarda. It's been a lot of that in the 4th quarter. That time, moved the ball, found Seeley, got yourself a 3-point play.
Did a much better job attacking the zone on that sequence there. And we'll be interested to see how much time Dale is going to take this possession. This is, again, it's one of those do we need a shot clock type of situations.
2.5 minutes to go, and Dale is definitely slow playing this, trying to minimize it down. The Pirates have done a fantastic job tonight against a team that's, seemingly more athletic, has gone up and down, has outplayed them in some areas. Right as I say that, here's a turnover. Boydston to the rim. Racers back ahead by 2. Bad turnover there leads to a free bucket, and Newcastle's back ahead by a deuce.
So they initially looked like they were going to stall talking about Dale, and I think that got him very lethargic there. Much better this possession.
Blocked by Sucarda. He just rejected Higdon. Let out a nice bellow after. And with under 2 minutes left, the Racers have the ball up by 2. What a swinging momentum since that last break in the action. When they were down 3, quick 5-0 run, and they got the ball.
And Dale's going to a man defense, which they have to do. They have to be in a man defense. At some point, they may have to foul.
Sucarda and Edmondson, that was a travel for sure. Great job by Edmondson just kind of backing up. Sucarda tried to kind of force his way down, knows he has the size advantage. But the heady play by the coach's kid, Easton Edmondson.
Edmondson has hands on him, though, but not enough for a call there. I don't really think that's a bad no call. Will we see Coach Edmondson call a timeout here? It's team down 2.
90 seconds left. Looks like they're playing it out, at least for now, they're playing it out. Here's Forsyth, double team over to Kelly. Levi Kelly's got 4 threes tonight. They'd love one now, but don't need one, just down 2. Forsyth being hounded by Boydston.
That's okay, though.
They can afford to be a little aggressive because they've stayed out of the foul trouble. That's only the 4th on Newcastle, so they still have 2 more to give even after that one.
Yeah, he doesn't like the call, does Boydston, but it doesn't hurt his team.
No, not particularly. And you can still be aggressive. No reason to give anything up easy. Make it tough. Here's Boydston battling with Higdon. He'll pass it out. This is Jones. Jones to the rim. Doesn't get it, and it's a defensive foul. And Deacon Jones with 1:01 is going to the free throw line and could tie it at the charity stripe.
So is that also on Boydston?
It was on Boydston. That's his 3rd. Board has his 3rd. You already had him as 3?
I thought they were counting that last foul on the scoreboard there, but maybe not.
First free throw goes in, 43-44. 15 foul on Newcastle, so they still have 1 more to give.
So if he makes his free throw, will Dale go back to his zone?
And it's good, 44-44. And now with a minute one, we can really have the shot clock conversation because there's no reason for Newcastle not to hold this.
That would be the right strategy, I agree.
But Dale may kind of trying to force the issue, and I think this is probably a really good timeout by Coach Jesse Brown. Make sure that you get what you want here, and everybody's on the same page with 50 seconds left.
I mean, there's two trains of thought. One is, yes, you stall, but if you try to do that against a man defense, that could burn you because you may end up overpassing it. And that kind of happened to Dale a few possessions ago, and that's how Newcastle ended up tying the game and taking the lead. So I think if we see a tight man defense played by Dale, Newcastle, they can't just stall. They have to have a plan for that and probably need to take the first available shot. And I like, obviously, getting the ball into the hands of Suchata, keep mispronouncing that name. But also, I kind of like getting the ball in the hands of Tegan Jordan. Because he's a good creator for his team.
Sucarda leads all scorers with 22. Certainly the player of the game, but he'd rather have the W. 44 apiece, kind of resetting the scene here. We got 50 seconds. Racers have the ball. They are in the bonus, important to note. A Dale foul would result in a 1-and-1 here, should one happen, with 50 seconds to go. Racers trying to give Dale just their second loss of the season.
Yeah, so important
if they
for
could
Dale.
find a way to come in here and get this win.
Important for Dale not to foul.
So into Tegan Jordan in the backcourt, 45 seconds, and we'll go back to our previous conversation. Do the Racers hold, and there's your foul. So that conversation is now moot, and Tegan Jordan will get a 1-and-1. And this can all work out for Dale if Jordan misses the front end here. But if he doesn't, you just handed them the lead, essentially. So we'll see what happens. Fouls on Jones, that's his second.
And that was risky. I can kind of see why, with the game tied, you don't want to let the other team stall. But when you go up and pressure and you're not used to doing that, that's not how you normally play. You might be a little bit more aggressive than you normally are.
Jordan misses the free throw. It's loose. He got his own miss. And Newcastle gets another chance. How do you like that in that kind of moment? Now Boyston feed to Munoz. Boy, he probably could have taken the lead right there. Instead, he opts for takeoff clock. Didn't you think Munoz was going to put that home? Had an easy bunny, it looked like.
He's a little too far away from the basket for his comfort. He's not a shooter, so I can kind of understand why he did. He just wasn't comfortable in that spot.
And if you're not comfortable, definitely pass it out. 15 seconds. Munoz trapped. That was real close to a travel. Fire in the corner. Boyce, we're under 10 seconds now. This is probably it. And this is a great timeout again, I believe, by Coach Jesse Brown. That possession was kind of a mess. With 7 seconds left, you have it. You can't take it with you when the game's over. So go ahead and take the timeout, talk things over, make sure you get the shot you want. 7 seconds on the clock for the Racers to try and pull off. I'm hesitant to call it upset. This is basically an even game on paper with a 4A team coming in to play a 2A team, regardless of the rankings, if you will.
I agree.
But a great game. I mean, evenly matched. That's why we picked it. I mean, we picked it because it looked like a great game on paper, and it's lived up to that billing.
Yeah, two things. One, how many times do you see offensive rebounds off a missed free throw? It just seems like, and when it happens, it feels magnified, and that happened here. But credit Newcastle, after they got that offensive rebound, they did what they had to do. They were able to drain clock against a man defense that was playing kind of tight without turning the ball over. And when I say drain clock, what that did is allowed Coach Brown for Newcastle to call the last timeout with under 10 seconds to go. Now they can diagram a play. And it's important to note for Dale, they have 2 timeouts left. And I think with this much time left, if they do score with any time left, the Dale coach, Coach Evanson, needs to scream for a timeout.
7.1. Munoz will do the inbound. He'll fire underneath to Seeley. Double team. Seeley tries to pass off Sukorda. It's on the floor. It's picked up by Dale. They're giving him the timeout. They are. What a play by Jet Higdon, getting on the floor, getting the basketball, and then getting a timeout. So with 2.1, the Pirates have it back. Now they're going to have to go the length of the floor, but obviously you got to stop. And at worst, you figure if you're Dale, you're playing overtime.
Yeah, I didn't hear Dale's. We're kind of close to Dale's sideline. I didn't hear their coach yell for a timeout, so that may have been all on the player.
I think Higdon called it. I believe.
On Higdon. That's good awareness, because when you're on defense, you don't think about having a timeout, but you need to know it. You need to know your timeout situation. So great job for Dale in that regard. Now the next thing they need to know is they cannot run baseline because there wasn't enough of made basket, and then obviously you got time with 2 seconds for probably 3 dribbles. 3 dribbles and a shot. Now here's the thing. Newcastle can foul without free throws. That's got to be into the mind of both Dale and Newcastle. Will Newcastle foul on the catch? Not a bad idea, especially if Forsyth catches it, depending on where they catch it.
It's a great point. You have that foul to give. It's a great point. Really, you could, in theory, just cut their time in half if you play it right.
If by some chance they get the ball, talking about Dale, near the timeline, I would definitely consider fouling. If they throw it in near the Newcastle free throw line, probably not.
So 2.19 to be exact.
Okay, they call another timeout off the inbounds.
Okay, so they advanced it a little bit.
Kind of playing like how Kansas City played in that championship, not championship game, felt like a championship game, that playoff game,
the divisional
against Buffalo.
game, yeah.
Pass the ball a little bit ahead and then call a timeout.
So 1.4 is now what they're going to have.
So that does, even though you do take a little bit of time off the clock. Now, if you're Newcastle, you probably don't want to foul because now we're talking about a catch-and-shoot situation.
Yeah, you're basically, get the ball, shoot. You're not really going to dilly-dally too much at this point.
So the concern is then if you foul, they're going to shoot it when they catch it. You might accidentally foul them in the act of shooting.
I'll tell you what, Jordan, it's a little serendipitous, but earlier tonight, junior varsity boys, the game ended on a half-court shot. The Racers, Newcastle beat Dale earlier tonight on a half-court shot. Now, this is Dale with the ball, but they can return the favor in the big game theoretically right now. Kind of a little bit of it's funny the way things work out sometimes.
You still have time for, I think, 1 dribble. So the key here is where is this ball thrown?
So Forsyth's going to do the inbound. It's kind of a tough spot, but we'll see what happens. He fires it in. It's grabbed. That was a decent look there for Higdon. They're never going to call a foul unless it's blatant in that kind of a spot. He thought he got hit on the arm. He may have. Couldn't really tell. But the shot comes up empty, and we're playing overtime. Let's do it. For the second time on the OSN Game of the Week in just 3 iterations, we're playing overtime.
That is about as good of a play call as you can have.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. All right, we'll take a quick break here, and then we'll come back. Overtime next, right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Here at Dale High School, 44-44 as we get ready to start overtime and the OSN Game of the Week.
So Midwest City, we're doing their game against Putnam City North on the Oklahoma Sports Network next week. And Midwest City boys, I don't know how much time left, but they may be on the verge of another huge victory for Corky McMullen. They beat Edmond Memorial 3 nights ago. That was huge. And tonight they might beat PC West. They're up 50-46 in the 4th quarter. They win that game. I think they clinched a home spot.
Great basketball going on in the Mid-Dell. Great basketball going on in Dale as we start the overtime period. Second time, like I said, in a 3 iteration span of the OSN Game. Look at Heritage Hall Bethany go to OT earlier this month. Got another one in overtime here tonight. Dale and Newcastle. 4-minute extra period. Each team gets a timeout back. Obviously, fouls continue on just as they were. Nothing changes on that front. So Newcastle still has 1 to give before putting Dale in the bonus. That could become noteworthy down the stretch of this game.
Dale wants to stall here. We'll see how much they do before they decide to go attack the basket. But really, what they're trying to do is to get Newcastle out of position. It's not that they want to take the last shot, but they want to get Newcastle being too aggressive on defense.
Mm-hmm. Almost the first minute of overtime gone. We haven't seen a shot yet. Dale's in no hurry. 44 apiece. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, the OSN Game of the Week. Dale Pirates #1 in 2A. Newcastle Racers number 10 in 4A. It's lived up to the billing. And what we thought it might be on paper looked like a totally even matchup, and it pretty much has been. Back and forth all night.
Both teams have been given one timeout, as they had 0 timeouts at the end of regulation.
We're down to 2.5, 90 seconds in to this overtime, without a shot. It's been this possession the entire time. Pretty incredible. That's exactly what Coach Edmondson and Dale's trying to do. They're trying to work this thing down, limit the possessions.
For now, Newcastle, Coach Brown is content to let Dale run the clock without being too aggressive. But again, they have a foul to give.
They do have a foul to give, yeah. And that could come into play very soon if they try to force the issue, try to get a turnover.
It's like, will they or won't they? At some point, you think Newcastle might start being aggressive here. Or Dale.
Forsyth right to the rim, and one. How do you like 2-minute, 2-second possession and to get the bucket with the foul? Incredible.
Well, the patience for Dale was rewarded, and Forsyth, it's just a matter of him catching the ball in a spot where he was comfortable attacking the basket. Not really his best shooting game of the year, I'm sure, but coming up big here, playing with 4 fouls. Huge three-point play.
Pretty much a perfect possession for Dale. They use over 2 minutes, get the shot, get the foul, and make the free throw. 3-point game, 47-44 with 1:45 to go here at Dale Gymnasium. Can the Racers respond? Munoz on the baseline. He's stuck. Is able to find Jordan. Jordan just a card at the top, poked away. Jordan able to save it. Pass here. Oh, that's going to be just too tall. That was Sukarta. The tip away was actually from Seeley. And a bad turnover there for Newcastle. And now Dale's in a very advantageous spot with 1:32 to go with the ball. And if Newcastle fouls, it'll be a 1-and-1. So everything is kind of on Dale's side right now, although still lots of basketball to be played here.
So the difference of this overtime is offensive execution. One was much better than the other. We'll see if they trap. Newcastle needs to trap here.
Forsyth gives it up to Edmondson. Getting close to 10 seconds. He just got that across in time. It's on the deck. Munoz pokes it away. Jordan saves it. Now Boydston has it. That was a great job by Jordan and Munoz making things happen. Now Sukarta to try and tie it. Too much. Rebound pulled in by Jordan. Newcastle's got to realize they got time, and they will do just that. Good heady play by Boydston saying, hey, let's chill for a second. We got a minute here. Here's Jordan with it. Screen set by Munoz. Good job by Kelly getting around it. Now Sukarta. Spin move. Lost it. Oh, and it's going to be a foul on Edmondson. And it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Chase Sukarta.
Foul, Edmondson's upset, but I thought he kind of grabbed his shoulder there. And you know, Coach Brown, he wants to hold on to that timeout. I don't blame him, but if he had more than one timeout available, I think he probably would have called one there before that drive to the basket. Huge free throws here, 1-and-1.
Very.
Newcastle missed the front of a 1-and-1. It was Jordan missing the front of a 1-and-1 last time. What will happen here?
You need this if you're Newcastle, and Sukarta, who's been so good tonight, steps up and knocks that one down. That's 23 now for the junior Chase Sukarta. He's been tremendous.
2 reasons you want to make the second one. Of course, because of the scoreboard, that's the obvious, but also if you make it, you can set up your defense better.
Yeah, you're better off making it, in my opinion, and he does make it in there. So 47-46. Obviously no shot clock, so they're going to have to force the issue and maybe foul here unless they can force a turnover or get Dale to just shoot it. And I don't think the Pirates are going to be very interested in that. Although here goes Jones to the rim. Turnaround shot is good! Deacon Jones, a great move and finish. It's a 3-point lead again for Dale, 30 seconds left.
I was surprised he did that.
Yeah, me too.
But it worked.
It worked.
Coach Brown's going to call a timeout. He can't be happy with his defense there.
It's forgiven if you make the shot. No, yes, one of those. So 30 seconds to go. The Pirates are back ahead by 3. Still, even though there's only 30 seconds, feels like there's an eternity left because of the twists and turns, and especially if you were with us 2 weeks ago, we were doing the game, Edmond North and Moore. It got crazy at the end of that game of missed shots and missed free throws. So there's a lot to be determined here in the last 30 seconds.
It was crazy how Edmond North, how many times they tried to kind of give away that game. I mean, that was worse than what the Rams did, making another NFL reference there. They tried to give away that game against the Buccaneers. But back to this game, so it's Newcastle's still fine. They're down 3. They have the ball. It's going to be interesting to see if Dale stays in their 2-3 zone.
Right.
Because I'm of the frame of mind that if another team plays a 2-3 zone, you can get a good open 3 there. You just have to pass the ball around some, but there will be an open 3 against the 2-3 zone. So it's an interesting defense to use up 3.
30.6 is the exact time left. 30.64 if you want to be real exact.
And the other thing about a 2-3 zone defense, at least for Dale, that is Newcastle's been able to get some offensive rebounds off some long misses against this zone.
Newcastle going to the young Antonio Brown. We've seen him just a little bit tonight. Number 15, the freshman. He checks in that far corner. See how he gets used here.
Yep, 2-3 zone by Dale.
25 seconds. Kafee gives it up. This is a deep 3 for Boyston. Clackums! Boyston rips it. And we're tied 49-49, 15 seconds left. Does Edmondson take a timeout or let the Pirates play it out? So far, looking like play it out. Forsythe, crossover in the corner. Kelly, number 5 would win it. This time, no. Higdon, can he get up a shot? I don't think it would have counted anyway, and we're playing double OT. 49-49. Let's play on. Why not? You got anywhere to be, Jordan? We got another 4 minutes to go.
Just my beauty sleep.
Overtime number 2 coming up next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Back here at Dale Gymnasium, ready to start overtime number 2. Well, it's been a thrilling game.
You know, Josh, it's easy to second-guess coaches as announcers. I'm going to have to do it anyway. Coach Edmondson's decision to stick with that 2-3 zone, again, you just give opposing offenses space to shoot those threes. So using a 2-3 zone, protecting a three-point lead, that's just a tough combination there. And it came back to bite Dale.
So we get ready to play double OT. In the years I've been doing games, I think I've maybe done double overtime once. I can't think. I can recall one game I think may have gone to double OT. It doesn't happen often, obviously.
Now you remember, of course, Dale won the tip for the first overtime, and they ran 2 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock.
Right.
So what will Newcastle do here? They win tip for the second overtime. And Dale is sticking with the 2-3 zone. They're going to extend it out some. But how much time can Newcastle run here?
Sucarda, he'll drive here. Just took on the whole Dale defense, basically. Couldn't quite finish it, though.
So as soon as I stop talking, Dale stops stalling.
Right.
So very different possession.
So now the Pirates, like you said, they used over 2 minutes last time. If they do something similar and get the same kind of result, they'd be in great shape. So we'll see how much time they use.
Dale, they keep the timeout from the first overtime, so they have 2. Newcastle has 1.
Good catch right there. Certainly something could be noteworthy. Again, remember, both teams are in the bonus still. Dale has 1 more in the regular bonus where they will be putting Newcastle on line for 2, although the possessions are so shortened now. Feels like you almost need triple OT to get there, but we'll see. In the corner, this is Kelly. Thought about it. I mean, he's got those 4 threes tonight. Didn't take that one. Had the chance to win it. Couldn't quite get it to fall right there at the end of overtime. Pirates continuing to slow play it. Easton Edmondson
Ooh.
has just 3 points tonight. He's been very active, but hasn't been a big scorer.
That reaching sometimes gets called a foul. Not there. I think it's a good no call.
Dale scoring, got 3 guys in double figures. In Kelly, Forsyth right there has the ball with 11, and then also Jones has got 12. So Jones and Kelly tie for the team lead. Forsyth right behind him. As we near the 2-minute mark to play here in overtime period number 2. Here is Jones. He'll drive, right-hand floater. It's good! Another fantastic possession by Dale. Ends in a bucket, and it's 51-49, 1:50 to go.
Boy, Jones is so good at knowing when to drive, finding the cracks in the defense, and knowing what to do with them.
Jordan thought about it instead of give up to Boyson, who hit that cold-blooded shot at the end of overtime. 3-pointer for Cathy. Clackums! And the Racers are back ahead by 1. That's Cathy's first points of the night. And they come on a 3-pointer in double OT to put Newcastle back in the lead. Incredible. 52-51. Here's Forsyth. Spin move, right-hand floater. Gets the roll! 1-point lead again for Dale.
What a game.
Incredible. So many good plays. It's just a high-level basketball game. Here's Jordan as we get down to the final minute. Right as I say that, a turnover. Just a miscommunication. Not sure if he was looking for Boydson or Seeley, but either way, it goes right out of bounds. It's a turnover, and the Pirates have the ball up 1.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm surprised Dale's sticking with that 2-3 zone, but it worked for him
It
on
worked
that
out.
last one.
50 seconds to the left. The Racers obviously have to foul or force a turnover or just get Dale to shoot it. You have to do something, and there's your foul. That'll send a Pirate to the line for 1-1. Is it Jones who's doing the shots? It looks like that is indeed. So he'll shoot a 1-1 here. These are pressure free throws, obviously. It's a 1-1 with 44 seconds left. Even if you make them both, the Racers are still 1 possession back.
And
the front end is so big here.
What we're going to see from Dale is they're not going to have any players along the lane. So if there's a missed shot, it's going to be an easy rebound for Newcastle.
Front end of the 1-1 is good. Clutch free throw from Deacon Jones.
Maybe Coach Edmondson knew Jones wasn't going to miss.
He has the team lead, 15 points tonight for the Pirates. They lead by 2. Can make it 3 right here. Missed it. Off the back iron, Tegan Jordan the rebound. Racers can tie with a deuce or take the lead with 1 from deep. Sucarda right to the rim. Can't quite get the roll. That goes out of bounds and will stay with Newcastle. Boy, that ball sat on the rim for an eternity, it felt like.
Newcastle has a timeout. Do you want to call one to set up a baseline inbounds play? Because that's what you want to try. You want to try to score off this inbounds play here. Not so much worry about the clock, because you can get a good shot off of what they call a blob play. No,
32 seconds. Here's Cathy. He hit that unbelievable 3 a moment ago. 28 seconds. Boydston to the rim. Feeds off to Munoz. Munoz, great move, and he puts it in. Tied up 54-54. Mentioned the Pirates have 2 timeouts. We'll see if Coach Edmondson takes one. It looks like, I believe he is. Maybe not. Looks like they're going to play it out, actually. 10 seconds. Pirates are going to try and win this right now. Pass in the corner. Edmondson, the coach's kid, not going to go. Rebound pulled down by Sucarda. That's a travel. We have less than a second on the clock, so it's going to be tough. But underneath the basket, the Pirates certainly have a shot here.
It's automatic. You fall down with the ball when you have possession. If you have possession, that's a travel.
It looked like he was just kind of trying to, just let the clock end. But you gotta keep playing.
Shocked they're not as timeout called yet by Coach Edmondson. There's 7/10 of a second left. You can get a shot off with this. See what the call there is. They're gonna maybe just.
It seemed like Coach Edmondson was trying to lobby for more time, but it's so hard in high school basketball to go retroactively put time back on. There's no monitors.
Another reason to call it timeout if you want to lobby there, but maybe he feels good about how they'll execute here. Nope, now he's going to call it timeout.
Now he will talk about it.
I mean, you can get a good shot up here. I remember, I don't know how much time was left, but last year when Del City, on their journey to win 6A state, played at PC West, and it had to be under 2 seconds, a baseline inbounds play. And who, of course, they had Keandre Young, who they could just lob it up to, and he was able to finish at the buzzer.
Right.
So one of the best highlights of high school basketball last year. But it can happen. You can get a really good shot.
Do you put Trey Chamber at 6'5" in the game just for this? Almost. I mean, you'd think about it.
Yeah, you do. You think about like an NBA reference, DeAndre Ayton's second shot against the Clippers in the playoffs last year. At first, you're going to use Chamber as, or whoever your big man is, as a screener, maybe for Forsyth, get the defense distracted, and then he can roll the basket. Maybe do that with Higdon if Higdon stays in the game.
Something I always love, it's important to note that there is, obviously, it's not a shot. So there is no goaltending off an inbound. You can basically shoot it, throw it up there, and just hope somebody can jump and just tip it in. That's that always feels like, to me, your best bet when you have less than a second. But like you said, there's enough time for a catch and shoot.
Also, Newcastle can call a timeout as well, and maybe after these players start to move, if I'm Newcastle, I consider yelling timeout as soon as the ref blows his whistle here.
Love Coach Brown putting in Connor Yingling, 6'6", just to guard the inbounder. Love that. Inbound to Forsyth, puts it in! The Pirates win it at the buzzer! What a play by Coach Edmondson! Perfection, Forsyth wins it.
Oh my God, that was such great execution. I mean, the thing about those baseline inbounds plays, you keep moving and screening and moving and screening some more, you're going to get someone wide open, even your best player who's getting the attention of the defense. You're going to get him open. Exactly like Del City at PC West last year. What an ending.
Absolutely incredible. And Coach Edmondson, what can you say? That was perfect. It absolutely worked perfectly. The lane open, wide open for Forsyth. He goes right to the rim and the easy lay-in. And just like that, the Pirates get the win. They go to 17-1. Dayton Forsyth, I don't know exactly what ended up with. I think maybe 14, whatever it was, player of the game.
Not his best game. I'm sure stat-wise you'll see he had better games. But he managed the game well throughout the game. Not his best shooting game, but, man, did he make some plays. And to think that was set up because just an unfortunate occurrence for Newcastle, but they traveled. I forgot who the player was, but he got the rebound and just fell down. And it was the right call. It just kind of stinks that it had to end that way for Newcastle. Because it's one of those games where it stinks that some team has to lose.
Yeah, it does. It is the definition of one of those. It was an extremely well-played game on both sides. Wow. I'm in shock with the way that game transpired. Unbelievable finish. Dale wins it. Dayton Forsyth at the buzzer tips it in. And the Pirates go to 17-1. Newcastle falls to 10-5. An incredible showing, just comes up a little bit short. Dale just made one more play. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll try and catch our breath for a second here. We'll come back, and we'll wrap things up from Dale. An unbelievable finish. The Pirates win it at the buzzer, 56-54. Stick with us. Post-game wrap-up next, right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Coast Technology Group is your full IT managed service provider, utilizing simple, reliable technology for your home and business. Remote monitoring and management, network infrastructure, and cybersecurity, all with 24/7, 365-day live support. When you partner with CTG, you get the 150 years combined experience of our experts, helping your business grow while keeping your systems secure.
back here at Dale Gymnasium as, normally it seems like games kind of end and then they kind of quickly empty out. I think people are buzzing. People are kind of hanging around after that one. Unbelievable game. I mean, it really was. Sometimes games get kind of overrated just, off of their finish. People talk about what an amazing game something was, and really, it was kind of a lousy game, but it had a great finish. That was an amazing game. That was back and forth from the very beginning. Teams trading blows, so many good plays, so well executed back and forth. There was some mistakes. Obviously, you're going to have mistakes in a game, but both teams played at a really high level. Dale, like I said at the very end of the game there, just made one more good play.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the biggest lead of the game was.
I think Newcastle led 9-4. I think that was the biggest lead. The Racers led 9-4 in the first quarter.
After that, it was a one-score game almost the entire second half. If there was a brief lapse, I may be missing something. I don't think I am. I think it was.
I don't know if it ever got above 3.
I don't think it ever got above 3. And whenever one team was up 3, the other team responded too. So that. Yeah, I've never seen a game that nip and tuck. I can't think of one I've seen like that in a while. That was just incredible. Yeah. You could kind of, again, it's easy as a color commentator for me to second-guess a couple coaches' decisions, which I could do it both ways. But in the end, I think the coaching was, for the most part, good. And you could tell these are well-coached teams. I think the effort was there. The passing was there, too. A lot of times, you could see one team, they don't really do anything on offense. They just kind of have 4 guys stand still and one guy go one-on-one. But we never had that this game. Both teams shared the ball a lot, and we saw it even at the very end on that inbounds play. And I feel bad for Newcastle because, again, they had that rebound, and the player fell down because it was a crowded paint. So I get why he fell down. I've done that when I played because I was very uncoordinated. And it's an automatic travel when you fall down with the ball. And so that led to the last possession. There still happened to be just under a second to go for Dale, but plenty of time for a catch and shoot, and that's what happened, and they won at the buzzer. Just incredible.
Remarkable game. It was fantastic. Chase Sucarda gave it his absolute best effort. He, was tremendous, was a big part of the offense. Obviously, he's going to be, and you don't want to overrate it too much. It is, a regular season game, but that'll stick with him, at least until the next time Newcastle plays. The fact that he pulled down that big rebound, but then he goes to the floor, travel, and with just 0.7 seconds left, like you said, Coach Edmondson, he didn't just say, let's go, triple OT, took the timeout, let's draw something up, let's try to win this now, and sure enough, they win it now. An incredible moment.
They were patient on that, too. It didn't happen right away. They had to move and move and move, but they were patient. After all, if you get to about close to 5 seconds, Dale had one more timeout they could have called, didn't have to. They were patient on that play, and it just worked to perfection. And what a game. And I want to mention, Josh, this was awesome to call with you next Tuesday. Be back to doing Middale games for me. Putnam City North at Midwest City. Both Midwest City teams won at Putnam City West tonight. Both Putnam City West teams are pretty good in 6A, so that's huge for the Bombers as they're looking good, both boys and girls.
Absolutely. So lots of good basketball coming up on OSN. Tremendous game here tonight. The OSN game of the week has been fantastic every week. Hopefully we keep doing this. You feel like our luck will run out eventually, but so far, so good.
Tonight.
2 overtime games, one of which goes to double OT, and the one game that didn't go to OT so far was that Edmond North Moore game that we did, which was, just crazy. Hilarity at the end of that last 2 minutes was absurd, and it came down to a block shot on the last possession. So we've had 2 games in a row, just me and you, that have been decided on the last possession. Hopefully more of that to come for you with all those Middale games. Myself, OSN game of the week. Hopefully you come up and link up with me. Maybe it's the 2 of us, although we had Heritage All Bethany go to overtime too. I was going to say maybe the 2 of us creates it, but had that other one. But hopefully more coming up for us in the future because it's been a lot of fun these last couple. Next up for Dale, they'll be back here on Friday night. They have Oklahoma Christian Academy, OCA, coming in here. It's a Class A school. We'll be here on Friday night. So the Pirates at 17-1. They'll look to keep things going. Newcastle will be looking to bounce back. They'll hit the road again. They'll be at Cash on Friday night. Obviously 2 teams that know each other very well in the same area, same district in football, that good stuff. 2 schools that play each other often. And they'll be playing each other on Friday night up at their place in Cash. So that's what's coming up next for the Racers. They look to bounce back before, obviously, a bit of a tough end of their season after that. They have, again, another game with Tuttle. They have Blanchard in there, Clinton. So some big games coming up for Newcastle before the end of the year. They'll have to bounce back from this one. But certainly feels like the Racers are a team that, if they're playing at their best, They could be they're a team you don't necessarily want to see in 4A. Those top-end 4A teams are probably thinking, keep Newcastle away from us.
Well, no, Kingfisher would respect them.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and I agree. Newcastle, they had a lot of impressive parts to their team tonight. Well, let's see, they showed depth. They had different players do different roles. I mean, the game got tied because of that Christian Munoz. He's a very heady post player.
Mm-hmm.
He knows where he can shoot and where he can't. So he passes up a mid-range shot a little bit earlier in the game. But when he gets the ball in the paint, he uses those pump fakes well and scores. I mean, and that's just one example. They got a lot of good players at Newcastle.
Right, absolutely. So a couple of good teams just played a great basketball game, and the Racers come out just a little bit short tonight. Pirates, like I said a couple times, it seems like the perfect way to put it for me, just made one more play. And the Dale Pirates go to 17-1 on the year. All right, that's it for us. It was a fun one again. Hopefully more of the same coming up. You have basketball for us next Tuesday night on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Which one was next Tuesday?
Putnam City North and Midwest City, girls and boys.
Putnam City North, Midwest City. That's going to be
probably tip off around 6 for the girls game.
That'll be a couple of great basketball games as per usual. We'll be back on the OSN Game of the Week next Friday. Again, don't want to say what we have planned, but if it goes as planned, it'll be a doozy. No matter what we have, it's going to be a doozy. Obviously, we have the magic touch here at Oklahoma Sports Network. So keep up with us to find out where we're headed for next Friday's edition of the OSN Game of the Week. All right, that's it. Great game again. For Jordan Ray, I'm Josh Calloway signing off in Dale. I want to thank everybody in Dale for being very accommodating, help us get set up here, and another great broadcast between the Pirates and the Racers. We'll catch you next time on the OSN Game of the Week. Good night, everybody, from Dale.